I'm reading this book. I highly recommend it right now. It's called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. But in any case, the most relevant piece that I want to talk about right now was something that I heard. I'm actually listening to it on Audible, but heard yesterday. This guy has been studying sleep for like 25 years, 30 years, something like that, right? Anyways, in the early 2000s, he gave a speech at some convention about, it was a neuroscience convention, and sleep is one component of neuroscience. Of course, there's many other components. And at the convention, someone, a pianist, came up to him and said, "Hey, I notice that every time I practice the piano, I will do a very hard piece, and I'll get to this one, I don't even know what they're called, but it's like what's between those two lines? You got the music.
Bar.
A measure? Is it like between? Anyways, like a stanza or something. I don't know. Anyways, some little thing, right? Some hard piece, and they can't play it. He said, I can't play it. I'll just keep messing it up, but I'll keep practicing it because that's what you got to do. You got to focus on the things that you suck at, right? And you focus on it, you practice it. Anyways, he said that almost universally though, he'd work on it, and when he'd work on it, he'd then go to sleep, right? Sleep 8 hours, whatever. Next day, wake up and go to practice it. Bam, play it. And it's like, it happens so many times. It's like, do you know what's going on here? You're a sleep specialist. Like, is there something that sleep is doing to help me, like, all of a sudden do this? And he was like, well, we don't know, but, I mean, that's certainly possible. But in any case, that question, like, haunted him. And so I don't know if haunted is the right word, but it grabbed his curiosity. And for the next 15 years, he kept coming back to it and studying it in a variety of different ways. Bottom line is they figured out that yes, in a lot of cases, to get good at something, you have to, and unfortunately I'm already forgetting the details from yesterday, but you have to sleep, and the sleep transfers the information from one part of your brain to another, and then once you do that, you make the connections and you can do it. And so this guy wasn't crazy. Like, he saw it happening multiple times, but the point is that this person who wrote the book said that instead of saying practice makes perfect, we should probably say that practice and sleep makes perfect. And they've done tons of studies, not just with piano players, but a whole bunch of different things like memorizing things and so on. So, takeaway for us is that sleep is valuable, and that when you're doing these things and you're doing games, you may struggle, but getting sleep can help solidify this. It also kind of confirms the idea that it's better. Like, I've seen this in practice, but you don't always know why these things happen. It's better to study a little bit every day than to study all on the weekend, because you're getting all that sleep in between. Now, one last little piece, though, is that as they researched it more and more, there are different stages of sleep, right? Ideally, you want to sleep about 8 hours, and in general, the first few hours tend to be more non-rapid eye movement sleep. You still have rapid eye movement sleep, that's where you're dreaming, but as the night progresses, you get more rapid eye movement sleep. There are different kinds of sleep. The particular stage where this transfer takes place most happens in stage 2, non-rapid eye movement sleep, in the last 2 hours of those 8 hours. So if you only get 6 hours, you don't get that benefit as much as someone else who is getting 8 hours, right? And so if you, and this is so funny because I see it all the time with LSAT. People will study, and they're just like killing themselves. And then they go take the test officially, they bomb it, and they're like, forget it. And it's like, don't do anything, just chill out and go take the test. And they're like, I don't want to do anything with this test. I hate this test. It's like, they get so burned out from it, right? And it's just like, no, just don't do anything for the next 2 months. The test is in 2 months. Just show up and take it. Pay the $200, go take it, and see what happens. And they go take it and they're like, damn, I got 8 points higher. It's like, yeah, because you weren't doing anything. Now, those are very extreme cases, right? Like killing yourself 4 hours a day, not getting enough sleep, and then doing nothing. But that's because the doing nothing was better than this death march, right? Now, in reality, you want something in between. You're pushing yourself a little bit during the day, and then you're getting good sleep, though. And if apparently you need those last 2 hours, that's kind of the key. So if you're cutting yourself short when you're doing that death march, it's no surprise that you're not making progress. In fact, they say that if you get 6 hours of sleep for 10 days, it's the same as pulling an all-nighter in terms of your ability to stay focused. And the LSAT is so much about focus. I mean, gosh, it's like little words, right? Like, oh, it said not, and now the answer is dead wrong as opposed to correct. So my point here is that to the extent you can start to adjust your life to get ideally 7 to 8 hours of sleep, try to do so. Study and then go to bed when you're tired and let sleep do the rest of the work for you. It's funny, it seems like you're not doing anything and people feel this urge to work. I gotta do more work, but maybe not. Maybe you should just be taking a break and let that brain do the work on its own. Anyways, that's that. Questions?
So how many hours do you recommend per day?
Well, this guy keeps saying that it's like study after study shows that you really need to get 8.
8 hours a day.
8 hours of sleep a day.
No, I mean study.
Oh, study. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And this guy's like, LSAT, 8 hours. Yeah. No, well, so based on my experience, based on the work of Angela Duckworth, who wrote Grit, studies have been shown that when you're studying, you want to study things that are hard for you, but not too hard, right? And that's what the Demon is trying to do. We're actually trying to hit 75% accuracy because studies in various fields, unfortunately no one's done it on the LSAT, but in a whole bunch of fields suggest that when you're getting 75% of the questions correct that you're doing, that's the optimal place. You're failing enough that you're going to pull yourself forward, but you're not failing so much that it's just like, I don't know what's going on here, you're not making progress. And so that's what the Demon's trying to do. And so you're trying to hit that place, and you want to work at that place for about, they say you can do about an hour. Mm-hmm. So I think that a lot of people try to study like, anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours a day. I think that's a good goal. It's just that if you're going to do 2 hours, you're probably going to want a break in there. Or you're probably not studying as effectively. You're kind of like taking it easy or something. Like you want that kind of challenging study, and they say you can only really do that for about an hour, and then you need to take a break. Now, to add to that, this book, I know this is less practical, but and I don't necessarily know how you guys can do this, but study after study has also shown that if you take a nap, your abilities to learn increase. They've done it in so many different ways. So people, they do a quiz in the morning or something, and then they have other people just do they just have them surf the internet or something like that, and they have other people go take a nap, even for like 30 minutes. And they come back, and they're sharper, and in fact, their ability to do whatever test they were doing in the morning increases, whereas the other people, it decreases. So, I don't know if that's possible, but sometimes in school, right, you're studying, you just get tired, take a nap. It's probably actually worthwhile. Sometimes I think we feel guilty, like, oh, geez, look how lazy I am. No, maybe it's good use of your time. So, anyways, I don't know as much about that. It's not something I've really recommended before, but this book has kind of cited at least 5 or 6 different anecdotes where they walk through studies that have tested that. So, anyways, so bottom line, I know that was a long answer, but I would say shoot for 30 minutes to 2 hours a day and try to do as many 5 to 6 days a week, because then you're giving yourself lots of time in between to process that information that you're learning.